Honey, I am so disgusted. I don't know what to do. When I tell you this Hollywood business is so crazy and demonic, y'all, I came across this video and I don't want to believe it's true. Tell me it's not true. They are saying Jaguar Wright is talking about Beyonce. Beyonce, girl, that she, and you know that girl that got that HIV, that skinny girl that was linked with Nick Cannon. You know Nick Cannon got all those kids with all those baby mamas. What he trying to prove, right? Well, anyway, that girl, I forgot her name. She's skinny. It's in the title or whatever. But they saying they linked for some reason. Her, Beyonce, and some other dudes, honey. I don't know what's going on out here. But I want y'all to see what's going on out here in these streets, y'all. Ooh, check it out.
Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say something?
I mean, probably not, considering she's going to be indicted for anything she was.
There's some very, very close people that are watching, and they're pissed because of the simple fact that they don't have any leverage anymore. They have no more leverage. They can't say Orlando's on.
He brought you on to speak on Diddy, and it seemed that as if your focus turned to Jay-Z, his wife.
That's always been my focus. They're one and the same.
Jaguar Wright just sent Beyonce into a major PR crisis after she exposed Beyonce for allegedly also having AIDS. So it turns out that Beyonce was also supposedly getting her freak on at the same parties that Gena was getting her cheeks clapped for some coin, and they both caught their STD from the same person. Now, the crazy thing about all this is that right from when Diddy's freak-offs were exposed, Beyonce was thrown in the mix, with some people even saying she was being serviced to him by Jay-Z as part of their dirty business deals. The allegations got even worse when the attorney Ariel Mitchell also stepped into the chat and made some wild allegations about a tape that people believe is of Beyonce and Diddy being auctioned to multiple blogs, including TMZ. Oh yes, honey, this mess runs way deeper than you think, and we are going to get into all the details.
So what are your thoughts on Ariel then? She comes on last as a lawyer for one of the Diddy accusers. She actually backs she
corroborates the fact that she saw the very videotapes that I said were about to be sold right here on this couch just a couple months ago. Why is everyone so late?
Now, even before Jaguar stepped into the chat with these allegations, people were already wondering about Beyonce's HIV status after Orlando Brown blatantly accused her of having AIDS.
After I said, Beyonce got AIDS. Why? Ask me why I wasn't dead after I said Beyonce got AIDS.
And as I said, it didn't take much for people to believe what he said, because Beyonce was already being accused of being in Diddy's circle at the time, and allegedly getting her back blown by his lil 3-inch. And to make matters even worse, an interview DaBaby had just done with Shannon Sharpe at the time, detailing a private meeting he had with Diddy, Beyonce, and Jay-Z at Diddy's house, also went viral. So according to DaBaby, he was initially invited there for a meeting, specifically for business. But when he got there, Diddy kicked everyone out, leaving only him, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy himself in the room. Apparently, once it was just the four of them, Beyonce approached him to make small talk, and the rest was history.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and maybe about 15 others. Right. Jay-Z and Beyonce being 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Right. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop, whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
Now, of course, we don't know for sure if Beyonce has AIDS, but given the fact that she has been linked to Diddy, who was recently exposed for allegedly having HIV, and is married to Jay-Z, who has also been accused of passing STDs to Rihanna, it makes it hard to not believe what Jaguar and Orlando are saying about her. In fact, Some of y'all may not know this, but the former assistant of a certain billionaire that Rihanna was supposedly dating recently came out claiming that Rihanna infected her billionaire boss with herpes that the billionaire in question also ended up passing to his wife. And not only that, but Jaguar Wright also inserted herself into that mess too, claiming that Chris actually put his hands on Rihanna back in 2009 because he found out she was allegedly sleeping with Jay-Z and caught herpes from him.
Hollywood. Well, she was f***ing my boss and gave my boss chlamydia. He's a prince in Africa. And so he came out here back in right before that, they were f***ing around. I think she was, I don't know if it was Travis. Who was Rihanna was that got dirty and got him dirty.
I understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night, and that's because Jay-Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed to the death jail. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most sexually involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from his celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was Jay-Z underage. Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. He gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes.
And the allegations got worse when news broke that an unidentified man, believed to be Chris Brown, was suing Rihanna in a $10 million suit for allegedly giving him herpes. The lawsuit read, "I did not jump Rihanna. She gave me herpes, and then when I threatened to file a lawsuit against her for not telling me she was infested with it, she began to hit herself in the face and throw herself against the walls just as Jim Carrey did in the movie Liar, Liar. Then she turned around and blamed me for the matter as a form of punishment." So how exactly did Gena get involved in this circle in the first place? Well, apparently she was homeless at one point while she was in New York. And unless you were living under a rock during the Diddy trial, you already know New York was exposed as Diddy's main hub for freaking off. And so, when folks got word that Gena was in New York, homeless, dealing with substance addiction, and attending freak-offs to fund her poor life, they connected the dots very quickly.
So y'all know I've come to terms that I don't know who gave me AIDS or HIV, right? So today I got a message about an interview that I should watch. And this interview happened to include a celebrity man that I was sexually with for a few years, and I actually had feelings for this person. And let's just say this interview put a very bad light on this person. And I've dealt with cops over this person due to sex conduct stuff that I thought was no big deal, so I brushed it off. But the fact that it's coming back to my face and they're telling me stuff about STDs and all this mess, and this man has been with me and everybody else doing the same thing with everybody else, and I don't know how to just brush it off anymore, because it's like, what if, what if this is the person who did this to me and he's living his best life? But hey, you can't have assumptions because it just makes an ass out of you and me. That's what they say. I'll never know, right? But I just don't like seeing stuff like that. I wake up and it ruins my whole day because I'm like, I don't think about this stuff for that reason, because I don't want to even, I can't do anything about it. I have it now. I'm half blind from it. I'm dealing with it. But if you did this to me and you've been fronting to me about, it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. I don't know what to do, but I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to let it go. It's just too much that I've been seeing and I'm hearing is giving me, you did this to me. But I can't assume. And I'm going to leave it there. It is what it is. Can't do anything about it, can you? Nope. You just can't.
And since we're already on the topic of Diddy allegedly passing on HIV, let's talk about the allegations that recently popped up after he got into a fight with an inmate. So, according to sources who spoke to the popular YouTuber Coach One Stack, the fight actually happened because the other inmates had gotten word about Diddy's alleged HIV, and they've been trolling him heavily for it. Apparently, it's gotten so bad that Diddy has sometimes been denied his medication as punishment for all the other folks infected, allegedly including Gena and Beyonce.
That should really be a cuckold and all that stuff. But one thing, Diddy ain't no punk. And they said that another inmate, said some things to Diddy about his manhood and possibly his alleged STD. And hey, they said Diddy wrapped his hands around the boy's neck and started squeezing and got sent to the hole. But see, here's the thing, man. In a lot of prisons, you might get denied your special medication. And word on the street is, man, that he might be getting denied that special type of medication. That's already hard to get. You understand what I'm saying? Since he's locked up, but he can't, he can't get it. But hey,
And then there is also Kim Porter's book, which has been brought up a lot since the start of all this. According to the contents of the book, Diddy gave Usher herpes when he was living with him under the guise of his Puffy Flavor Camp mentorship program. And interestingly enough, that was also happening in New York, the same city Gena and Beyonce supposedly caught their infections from after allegedly attending a couple of Diddy's freak-offs. Anyway, going back to the book, an email from one of the publishers who was working with her leaked online, and the email blatantly said, and I quote, "Some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom." A lot of people were quick to believe this because back in 2017, Usher got sued by a woman who said he gave her herpes. She said he didn't tell her he was diagnosed back in 2009, and according to her, she started having symptoms, did a little Googling, and that's when she saw reports about him catching STDs from Diddy. So she decided to get tested. And guess what? It came out positive. Now, the thing about all these infections allegedly flying around is that Jaguar Wright tried warning us about what Beyonce was allegedly getting up to with Diddy, but everyone was too busy calling her crazy to even give her a listening ear, only for her to turn out to be right once again. Like that time when she boldly got on Piers Morgan and accused Jay-Z and Beyonce of some really disgusting things.
Publicly, Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. But everyone knows what's going on, and it's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy. See, people keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making Diddies. And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically. Davis has been his greatest teacher. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter.
Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy.
Anyway, going back to Diddy, the HIV allegations were far from over. Just last year, another man filed a lawsuit against Diddy as John Doe, and accused him of allegedly exposing him to HIV. According to the lawsuit, the man said he was working as a music industry intern back in late 2014 when he ended up at an after-party in Valverde that was hosted by Diddy. He said after having only 2 or 3 drinks, he started feeling weird, like something was off. Then he blacked out, and the next thing he remembered was waking up to someone he believes may have been Diddy doing things to him. Now, according to him, when he first got tested for STDs, everything came back negative. But months later, he said doctors told him he had contracted HIV. So, of course, once people saw that lawsuit, they immediately started connecting it to all the other rumors floating around Diddy and these freak-off parties. And from the looks of it, these celebrities didn't just start getting infected recently. If y'all remember, some other big names like Magic Johnson, Eazy-E, and Craig Mack were also infected with it. Clearly, there is some nastiness going on in Hollywood that's causing all these people to catch the same diseases.
Well, let me say good late afternoon. Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers today.
The dazzling career of one of the world's best-known athletes is over.
I just want to make clear, first of all, that I do not have the AIDS disease, but I know a lot of you want to know that, but HIV virus.
Magic Johnson confirmed today that he has the AIDS virus.
Rock singer Eazy-E has lost his battle with AIDS just 10 days after revealing that he had the disease. The 31-year-old rapper died last night in a Los Angeles hospital. He was hospitalized last month for what he thought was asthma and said that he did not know how he contracted AIDS. Eazy-E, whose real name was Jaguar Wright, was a founding member of the band NWA. The band practically originated the hardcore style of gangster rap and was a huge influence in the rap community.
Coroner down there after his passing, the coroner said Craig had probably been sick between 10 and 11 years. Unmedicated. All those years.
Now, interestingly enough, Craig Mack was signed to Diddy's record label, Bad Boy. And when it comes to Beyonce, it's still not confirmed if she really has AIDS, or if she and Gena actually caught an infection from Diddy. But that's what people seem to believe. And the allegations from Jaguar aren't making it slow down anytime soon. As usual, people had thoughts like this person who said, STDs are no joke. I would not want to be around any celebrity for fear of getting an STD. They are passing it around like it's cool to have it. It's just plain foolish. Another person said, if Diddy gets out of jail, I fear for Jaguar Wright's life. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Jaguar going off on Beyonce for her alleged involvement with Diddy? And do you really